Hey, Danny Gonzalez here at Automate 2025. I'm here in the Schneider Electric booth. I'm here with Dominic Schneider, and I guess no coincidence there.
No, yeah, no.
Okay, it's not, okay, this, you don't own the company, or it's named after you?
Yes.
Okay, all right, we're going to get that clear right now. But, but Dominic here is with a division of Schneider called ProLite, primarily in the brewery space.
It is, I would say, consumer packaged goods and batch control, but we're using an example of a brewery here because it covers both traditional batch processes and continuous batch processes and a lot of highly automated and highly contextualized data for our customers in a very changing space. So a lot of different products coming in, brewing industry changes from only beer products to non-alcoholics to seltzers to mixers. So I think very relevant topics for a lot of our customers today.
Sure, absolutely. So if I were to kind of compartmentalize that a little bit, some of the challenges that maybe your customers are facing is the need for flexibility. Like you were mentioning, I know like the RTD or ready to drink. It was a big initiative. I'm not sure if that's still a thing or if that's kind of shifted.
Yeah.
But I think the point is being able to adapt to the shifting consumer demands and changes. So how are you guys kind of helping customers to be able to solve that challenge?
Mm-hmm. So number one, our software from the very bottom to the MES layer up is all model-based. So it's not like I have a fixed PLC code that I have to meticulously change when I change my process. Our software has an idea what a valve is, what a pump does, and what the units around do. And then I can easily graphically as a customer rearrange them to produce new types of products. And at the same time, of course, I might not have the same experience with that product as I had with what I produced 30 years ago, so I need good data from the very first moment to be able to increase efficiency, to optimize my product as fast as possible. And that is where, again, this model-based approach that we have comes in very nicely, because from the very first moment, as it flows through the model, as valves open, they know what product I produced, how long it took me to produce it, what raw materials I used, and I can compare that data and optimize my process.
That's fantastic. So I saw a presentation earlier, and it was mentioning a specific use case, and sure. I was hearing that there were, as far as like an efficiency rise, once they were putting in some of these solutions, they were seeing a huge uptick in efficiency, and I want to say around the neighborhood of around 50% or so. Anything you can speak to on that?
So for efficiency, I would say it is really. Today, a lot of these efficiencies we find in empowering the existing workforce or new people coming in. Because in the past, a lot of our customers had huge experience pool that is now retiring, and the people that come in, they don't stay as long with the company, and they might not have the same slow growth path to build blocks upon each other, so we need to assist them better. We need to make them productive faster, and that is where, again, this comes in very nicely. We take them by the hand to produce the product of the specific quality that we want to achieve. And this is also where other Schneider products around AI come in to help and say, okay, if I have a question, I ask it like I ask my ChatGPT and not a manual browse through it. Or we have co-pilots for coding that help when I develop this application, I can ask it, okay, please write me a piece of code to calculate a tank volume. And it will write it for you, and have good quality from the very first moment.
That's fantastic. There's a big challenge, obviously, right now. We're talking about workforce. Big topic of conversation here at Automate, and it's been for years, but I think it's increasing now. I'm curious, how are you able, or what are some of the, I guess, tactics that you're using currently to be able to capture some of that maybe tacit knowledge that you might have from the existing workforce there, to say, hey, this is our process, this is how we've done that, to be able to get it into a system, like you were mentioning, we can reference AI, instead of having to look up a PM or something. Is that something you guys are helping customers with? What does that look like?
So I would say even like pre-AI, we can encode business rules that we check against. So let's say I do a cleaning. My software can monitor what is necessary to have a clean equipment, what time, temperature, caustic concentration do I need. and compare it what happens in the real world and alarm the operator and say, hey, you should maybe make up this caustic tank, the concentration is too low. Right. So that's traditional business rules, really static. Yeah? And then when we talk AI, for sure, what a traditional subject matter expert maybe does is to review in detailed history and graphs and say, okay, my process slowed down here. And AI can help there. It's good in pattern recognition. It's good in large pattern recognition. Yeah? And again, we can to a degree replace that years of knowledge that come in and say, okay, my flow doesn't look just right. It might not present you just yet with a solution, but at least it can alarm you that something is not going as planned.
Right, at least you can have that from a little bit more of a predictive standpoint, right? Instead of react and repair, exactly. I can kind of see that challenge. It's fantastic. I would say, what kind of size organizations would be ideal for your solution? I know there's a lot of, specifically let's say in the brewery space, but where do you feel your product fits best?
So the nice thing is it really scales very well. You don't even need automation. So when we talk, if I just have a problem in my pub brewery today that my people are not following a certain workflow, we can help with that. Yeah, just guiding them step by step offline through a process. Yeah, so that's pub brewery size. If we go craft brewery size, maybe some of my processes are automated. We can help with that. And the magic of these model-based systems is they grow with you. There's never a point where I throw away something that I already built. I just extend it with, now I bought a few more tanks. Now I bought or I automated my next area. So I switched from this manual process to an automatic data input, things like that. So I hate to say it, but it is really customers of all sizes. I think we can help with their challenges.
Oh, it's fantastic. Right, so as we're kind of wrapping up the interview, one of the questions that I'm curious to hear from different people here at Automate, what are you hearing from your customers relative to, I guess, certain headwinds? I'll say specifically relative to tariffs that are going on right now. How are you seeing your customers responding to that, what through maybe CapEx purchases or even just their operations in general?
Mm-hmm. So maybe, of course, we have a mixed customer base, OEMs and end customers. OEMs, for sure, there is a careful optimism that it will trigger investments in automation. Yeah, we need to be more efficient now, and we need to produce maybe more locally to address this challenge. On the end customer side, I would say that careful sentiment goes more in direction, okay, let's delay CapEx investments until we get a little bit more clarity where this all is going. So I don't see a hit yet much in software because we address really cost per se and efficiency, so that is always a good investment. But these large new builds and so some wait a little bit with investments currently. Yeah.
Makes sense. Well, Dominik, listen, I appreciate the time and the insights, learning about you and ProLeiT. If someone would want to learn more about ProLeiT, what's the best way to do that?
Yeah, the internet, of course. Yeah, Google ProLeiT, PROLEIT, and you will get all the information that you need.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much, and I'm Danny. Thanks for watching this interview, and stay tuned for more.